but the draw's not till 10:30, so there's not much we can do. There's just a van pulling off now, so there's a few guys coming off. Not too sure how many people's booked on, but I know it's always busy. I've not been for over a year. The mission today is to try and catch, or this session rather, is to try and catch a 30. I'm going to try to make it difficult for myself by fishing a swim. I haven't fished before. There's a bank called the Railway Bank. I think I've only fished it once in the past. I think there's 6 swims down that side. I know very little about that side. Most of the fish that I've had from the past have been in the opposite swims, 12, 13, 14, and I know them pretty well. So yeah, so the idea is to show you that it is possible to turn up at Baden Hall, and I'm on the quarry, probably the hardest lake here, questionably, but it has got the biggest fish. So yeah, the mission is to catch a 30, going in blind like anybody else would. They'd turn up, they wouldn't know much about the place, and the phone was slipping then, they would normally blank. To be fair, most people do. That's because it's a difficult water. People don't come to the quarry and expect to catch. I've been really lucky where I have caught fish in the past, and I've caught quite a few fish. So I'm going to try to show you guys that you can just turn up, fish blind, and catch a 30. Here we go. So, just done the draw, and I've opted for swim free. It's a swim I've not fished before. I think the only swim I've fished on that side is 4 actually next door, and it was one of the very few times I've blanked on the quarry. So it is definitely going in blind today, and it is freezing. I just put my hoodie on, as when I got out the van it was ice. The wind is bitter. There was a ground frost last night, and there's one due again tonight. It's late in the year as well for getting frost and ice, but there you go. So much for global warming. I just hope it's not going to affect the fishing. I know there's not been a great deal out recently. I think the 2 come out last week, so it's not many fish. So right, let's do this. We've been told we can go down in 10 minutes, so just waiting now to pull off and then get set up, and then I'll be back and speak to you again soon. See ya. Go, heading over to the quarry. I've just been speaking to a guy, well a couple of guys, but one of them just told me he'd done 24 nights without a fish, and that story is not unusual. I spoke to a few guys that's done 18 sessions, 19 sessions, even 20 sessions, and still not had a fish. I'm not sure what it is they do or don't do. Baffled. I'm absolutely baffled, but it just shows that it's not an easy water. I think there's around 120 to 140 fish in this lake, so it's not going to be an easy water, but then the rewards are there. So we're just driving down to the Otter Gate and then over to the swim, and then we can get set up and see what we're going to be doing today. There we go, there's the Otter Gate. Make sure get it open and then shut it properly. That was kind of him. He's opened it for me. Thank you very much, my friend. It's not very often you get that. Right, so we're just going down the path now. what we've just seen was the bay. Now as we head across this, we've got swim 1, swim 2, swim 3, which is mine. As you can see, the railway is just to my left. That's why they call it the railway bank. So luckily on here, we can drive right over to the swim and be really lazy fishing. Most places are like that nowadays, I suppose, instead of hoarding your gear for miles. Now, each swim has a shed. Now, at the moment, we're not allowed to use the sheds. Although today, because I've been a good boy and asked really nicely, they've told me that I can use the shed. So I've got the key and we can make the most of what they offer. Right, so bye for now, and we're gonna get set up. Swim free, as I said earlier, and I also said that I'm going into this swim blind because I've never fished this swim. In fact, all this side of the next door, but didn't really find much out about that. What I did find out is it's fairly deep, close in. It was cold at the time from what I can remember, so I don't think that I tried to find the shallower water. And again, at the time it was pretty clear, whereas this time I know there's bits of weed coming up, so I'm going to have to double check about the weed. How do we check for weed? Simple. Braided line, little clip, and a teeny tiny 2-ounce lead. Now the reason why I use a 2-ounce lead is because I don't want to be throwing a 4 or 5-ounce lead in about trying to find the features on the bottom, because a big lead's just going to spook the fish straight away. I mean, it's not ideal sending this out, but you've got to find something out. So to help myself, I've brought the weight down, but what I have done is a flat-sided lead. So the flat sides will grip the bottom that little bit better, and hopefully I'll get an idea of what's going on out there. Initially, what I'm going to try to do is find the clear patches. If there's no clear patches, obviously the thinner part of the weed, but ideally I'm going to try to find a couple of clear patches. Now I've not got a lot of water in this swim. I think 50-60 yard chuck is the maximum. I'll have to double check on the map, but I think it's 50-60 yards. So it's not a massive amount of distance, but I've got a bit of width going left to right, so I've got a bit of scope with what I want to do. So what I'm going to initially do is about 6, 7, 8 casts using a little lead, get an idea. I've actually got a pen and paper, and I'm just going to make a note and obviously wrap it up at the correct distances, so I know where the clear patches are if I need to fish them straight away or later on in the session. I think what I'll do initially, if nothing starts to show, one's just shown, bonus. If nothing starts to show, or if one starts to show and nothing else, I'll aim for the clear patches. If they do start to show left, right, far out, close in, obviously I'm going to fish to the fish. What I'm not going to do is start piling bait in. What I'm not going to do is start throwing two rods, 3, 4, 5-ounce leads, bump straight on the nose. I'm just going to wait and just try to get an idea of the behaviour. Are they coming up in one area? Are they coming down and coming back up in another? Are they cruising left to right? On here, you need to know that, because if you start throwing leads in, they're going to spook, and that's your session done. So first of all, this is going out 6, 7, 8 casts, get an idea, write it down, and then after that make a decision on where you're going to put the hook baits. Let's do it. as you can see from behind me. It's early in the morning, just gone 6, sun's just coming up. It is so cold, you have no idea. It doesn't look it. It looks pretty warm, but it's freezing. No joy last night. There wasn't really much showing either. I couldn't really see much. Obviously it was dark, but I was trying to keep a listen out to see how far out they were really. I have seen one this morning cruising close in, so I think there's a good chance that the rods are going to be brought in later, rebaited and put close in, and we'll soon see what happens then. I'm still hopeful, even though it's cold morning. I'm still hopeful. There's still another night to go yet. That I'm going to end up with an egg on my face and not look like I know what I'm doing, but we'll soon see, won't we? Soon see. See you later. It's a common that's been showing.
Is it?
Yeah,
I did see something showing up in front.
Yeah.
I thought it was a mirror out of him over there.
Well, I've seen a head and shoulders of one before, and it looked like a mirror then. After that, a common kept coming up, but they're only short.
Are they?
Short, yeah. I was fishing past them.
Yeah, they're about 8 rod lengths, aren't they?
Yeah.
8 to 9 rod lengths. There's a shelf there, I think.
A massive one, but it's a fish. No, don't get stuck on that line. We'll just put it out. Just been bringing them in closer and closer because it just keeps showing closer and closer. The net. Come on. No. Still not having it. Proper golden, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one I saw coming up, that is,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. The dark and golden. He just kept like head and shoulders.
That was it, yeah.
Wasn't like making a big ripple or a splash or anything. Doesn't want to give up, does it?
No, it doesn't, mate.
Don't give it any more because the last finger wants the
yeah, take your time, mate, get it in.
If it was near some snags, I'd probably give it a bit more, but clicked off the fin then. Like the hook pulled. It's like it just wants to stay a foot under the surface.
I know, I keep losing him. He's there 1 minute, it disappears, pops above there.
I'm giving it some, you know.
It's fighting though.
Sorry?
It's put up a fight, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's woke up, it's sort of come in, hasn't it? And then woke up. thin again. Every time it does that, I think shit. He's not quite got his head up yet, has it? It's like it's coming through. I think once he gets a mouthful of air,
back down. It's ready now, and it's tuning up.
Turned. Right.
What hold on now?
No.
Alright, scrap.
Come on. Proper battle. Oh, see that then? Doesn't want to know. Yay!
He's there.
Please come to the net. Come to the net. Yes. Yes.
Well done, mate.
Get it. This is loads of water in the bottom. Forgot to get it.
Some house fish, that one is.
Yeah, it's
Right,
heavy.
door.
You
Like I said,
ready?
didn't go any of the sides, did it, in there?
No.
Yeah.
Dense. He's back. And good morning. Morning after the night before. Last thing you would have seen was me getting a 30. Cracked it. What a fish as well. What a fish. Well chuffed with that. What you didn't see was I had my third rod set up with hook bait ready to go. Did have a zig on it, but I always, if I've got a third rod, I'll try to have a rig ready to get straight back in. So fish got in the net, got the third rod, got it straight back on the spot, managed to get some pictures, a little bit of a video. Apologies for the video, I had the wrong lens on it and the camera guy wasn't the best, but there you go. He mud the lens, to be fair, but at least I got some decent pics out of it. So yeah, just after 30 minutes later, and it happened again. So take a look at this. Oh, there we go. 37 on the nose. Second fish of the session. Another night to go. So hopefully there'll be more in the bag. It's decent. Spin it around now. Here we go. Let's have it. How about that? That's what we came for. Beauty.
Can we get another couple just this way again, front? Just to make sure.
We need to get my ass back in the gym a bit more, I think. Right, there we go. That's what we call a fish.
Yeah. Well done, mate. Another good.
And again, what a fish. Couldn't believe my luck. I was buzzing when I got that in the net. Obviously by the time I got sorted it was pretty late, I was knackered. Got the rods back in, it was dark, so ended up doing a couple of little videos this morning to cover that. Obviously got that bug inside me now, and I'm thinking of popping back next week. I've got a bit of time off work. I planned to have some time off around this time of the year during lockdown, and I think I'm going to be coming back. But could I do it twice in a row? I had, we had another fish in the night. Forgot to mention that. I had one about 17, 18 in the night. So I've had 3. 32 for 37 and one about 18. So absolute stonking session. So I'm eager to come back now. Guess what? Back again. Couldn't resist. What a result last week was. 2 30s, 32 for 37 and one about 18 in the night. So yeah, bit of time off work, back down here to try and prove that it wasn't a fluke. And guess what? I've done it again. Only this time is so much better. £42 6 ounce. Check this. Bit of a beast. Right. The twig. You ready?
Yep.
That's a big fella. Get up there. There we have it. 42. What was it? 42.
42.6.
42.6. 42.6. Caught short range and a mad baits pop up, and it is a heavy one. Just getting a few pics. Let's take a few more that side. Bit of an heavy one. Take 3 or 4 more. And I'll spin around. I was gonna say, are you ready? It's me that's not ready, isn't it? Try again. Get up there. Now we're talking. How's your luck? Last look at this side. We'll get it back. 42.6. Here. Happy with that?
Yeah.
What about that?